figure out the live situation on YouTube, and hopefully it is going to show me myself, because you guys, you know, sometimes it doesn't like to show me myself. And I don't know if it's going to, but I'm just going to give it a moment. Cheers. Happy Thirsty Thursday Live. I am actually going to be using a couple stencils, a couple photos from my Disney Cruise album. This is one of my favorite photos of Christopher and I. This was after I got pretty bad sunburn. He got a little sun, but not as much as I did. We're in those Disney robes that I talked about yesterday. And we're on our balcony, which, oh God, we loved being out there on the balcony. And then here is a photo that we took of the open ocean. So I got a couple stencils. I got I can't remember what I named this stencil, you guys. I got the wave stencil right here. And then I also have the March stencil of the month. So the March stencil of the month is pretty awesome. This was my plan for the March stencil of the month, just this, and I was going to put it in the center, but it felt like there was a lot of unused stencil space, so I added in this one as well. So you have two different stencils in one for the March stencil of the month, and that is how I went for it. I'm trying to see if I can't find myself again. Because a lot of the times it'll just be, there I am. All right, you guys, I have found myself, I've got to watch a 30-minute YouTube or a 30-second YouTube ad before I can actually see anything. Okay. So, and good news about my finger, I don't think I'm going to lose it. I don't think I'm going to lose this fingernail because it is growing out and the bruising is not there. Like, I thought I might have damaged this fingernail so badly that I was going to lose it, but I don't think I have. I think it's just gonna, that horrendous looking bruise is just going to grow out. Kind of like this tiny little bruise on my thumb. That was way down here. And that one's growing out. So I guess I just needed to do another one. Hey, Lisa. I have all of your stuff is in the package. Okay, so drinking some wine, got some photos, got some stencils. I'm actually going to use a thicker sheet of cardstock. Most of the time I don't even bother because worked pages don't bother me. But I thought if I end up getting really wet here on this paper that it would probably be better since it's a live situation. So, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, so my plan is to do a little bit of a background with the waves, and then I'm going to put the hearts on top. And I'm not going to use this bottom heart one. I think I'm just going to use this. Let me show you what I was thinking. When I made the heart stencil, like I said, I had just planned on this because I thought it would be kind of awesome to be able to have like a photo here and a photo here and the hearts kind of through it, or maybe just a one photo. Like that was kind of my thought about it. And I was thinking like a 4x4 photo, but obviously I'm not going to cut these down to 4x4s. So I kind of hope that my vision works, which is why I'm going to put the waves stencil on the background. And also, while I was cutting, I went ahead and cut myself another one of these bad boys because, you guys, I still have not been able to find my freaking airplane stencil. Like, I have gone through this room. I just had an epiphany. In my mixed media box. If it's in here, I'm gonna cry. Nope, it's not in there. Okay. I looked over and had an epiphany, but I guess the epiphany wasn't there. I really have no idea what happened to this stencil. It has kind of disappeared, and who in the world knows? But anyway, I'm not using the airplane stencil for this, so we're going to toss that over. I am going to use the wave stencil here, and I think what I'm going to do is just do a little bit of ink first, and then I'm going to do, I think I'll put it in that box, in that paper box, and do some spray. At least that is my plan. I'm going to use this Lagoon, and I know I'm a little early, but the reason why I decided to do Thirsty Thursday was twofold. Yesterday, we had a long meeting at work, and I kind of just wanted to de-stress, and, you know, I took a tub. Did I take a tub yesterday? Maybe I didn't take a tub yesterday. Did I take a tub? I think I took a tub yesterday. And then Christopher and I just kind of hung out. I went to bed early, and I knew that he was going to be later tonight because he has a work dinner meeting with some dudes about some stuff. So I knew that that was going on, so I thought, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is actually do a Thirsty Thursday live. So that is what we're doing. Now, you guys have seen me mix a blue and a teal before on the waves, and then actually, whoops, I just shifted that. Is that going to ruin it? Let's peel that up and look. No, they're not like sharp waves anymore. They're kind of soft waves. I'm okay with that. Like I said, you guys have seen me do this before, and I think I just shoved my brush under that wave. Yep, see, this is what happens when you shove your brush under your stencil because you're pressing too hard. But anyway, this, like I said, this is the background, guys, so I'm not stressing about it. And you have seen me use two different blues on this stencil before. So if you're thinking, oh God, she's not showing us anything new, that's okay. I am not going to put Glitter Glaze through the stencil as well. What my plan is to shift it a little bit and do a little bit of spray. Because I want to create a background. Dang it. There we go. Lots of mess, you guys, because I did not actually put the stencil down where it needed to be. But I guess what is good about this is you can kind of mess up a background and still keep going. Right now, if I had some red spray out here and I accidentally spilled it all over it, would I be able to recover from that? Maybe not. Maybe that's a background you really can't recover from. But a lot of the times people are so, I'm going to do a little bit more teal. A lot of the times people are so critical of themselves. And, you know, if the background isn't perfect, then they're like, oh God, this is why I don't do mixed media, or this is why, you know, I'm going to completely redo the background. This is, you know, this is why it takes me 900 hours to do a background. And I want to, I guess I'm just going to show you to just kind of go with it, right? And I mean, there's a lot. There are stencil brush that has gone under. There's all kinds of messed up. Nothing is sharp. There's stuff all over the place. So one of the ways you can camouflage that, if you're stressed out about it, is to go ahead and ink the entire background, right? Like you're just putting color everywhere. You're not going to have that stark white background. And a lot of the times If you do this first, if you put the color down first and you don't have a stark white background, it actually gets rid of that intimidation factor of a big old white background that you are working with. All right? Sometimes a big old white background, that is intimidating. And sometimes it's just a beautiful blank canvas. Man, I can't even speak. Where you're like, hells yeah, let's get this going. So I'm also going to bring in the blue color. I'm kind of, oh, I forgot to put down my pink matte, which is what I normally do my mixed media on, so I can kind of keep this one nice, but you know, I didn't do that. Good thing is that these inks are water reactive, so the only thing I'm going to do is grab some paper towels real quick, my Distress sprayer, which has just water in it. I'm going to clean that up real quick. I mean, this is not a pristine matte by any means. I keep resisting getting a glass mat. I just don't know if I want to work on top of a glass mat. You know what I mean? Makes me feel kind of, I don't know if I want to do that. Okay, so good thick white paper that is no longer white. I've got the thingamajigs on it. So now what I want to do is get my hearts on here. But I don't want to use this, so I am actually going to cover this part up because like I said, I don't want to use this part of the heart, right? Like this is not the part that I want to use. So I'm going to cover that up. And you can do this with any stencil, not just this one. It's just that this one is, like I said, there was a lot of white space on this stencil, and I was like, no, they need a little bit something more. So let me grab some washi tape. Cover this up. Okay, now this is my, and I'm trying to think what I want to actually cover this up with, right? Okay, so this photo is going to go here. This photo is going to go here. My title is probably going to go here. I don't know if they're going to be like angled or straight yet, but that's kind of the look I'm going for. So what I need to do is figure out what in the heck I am going to put here. I'm thinking about inking. Do I want to ink it? I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with this yet. You know what I mean? What just happened? My phone just went weird. Okay. Well, do I want, oh, I could emboss. Do I want to emboss? Let's do this. So I have this part of the stencil marked off. Why don't I mark off this bit up here? So I need something. I need some paper to mark that off with. Right, because I think what I'm going to do okay. All right. So what I am going to do is I'm going to turn it this way. I'm going to get a dark ink pad and ink this. So I'm going to use Sapphire, which might be my darkest blue right here, of my Close to My Heart inks. I don't want to dig into my other inks right now. So we will see the waves through here, I think. But what I want to do is have this as a base, and then I think I'm going to emboss it, you guys. I think that sounds like a fun time to me. I know I said I was going to do sprays, but I think I want to emboss it. So when we went on the cruise, oh my heavens, did I love that balcony. We loved the balcony. That was actually one of the requirements to go on a cruise for Christopher, was to have a balcony, because he did not want to be in an inside stateroom. Now, when I went on the first cruise earlier last year with the one that was hosted by MK, Janet, and Joni, I was in an inside stateroom, right? Like, I actually was by myself. I didn't have a roomie, which was amazing. And I didn't mind the inside stateroom. But then when Christopher and I went on the Disney cruise, and I had that veranda, I was like, oh yeah, I need this in my life. I can't ever be without a veranda again. But I was thinking about it. If I was ever on like another scrapbooking cruise, I think I could go without the veranda, right? Like, I don't think that is something that I need in my life, because the way I cruised with the scrapbooking cruise was a lot different than the way I cruised with my husband, right? Like, we spent a lot of time at the spa, we got massages, we chilled out in like the rainforest room, we hung out in the hot tub. Lots of like coupley romantical things. And when I was on the scrapbooking cruise, we obviously scrapbooked. But I also had a lot of, oops, I just knocked that out. I did some alone time too, because I love alone time. But if I'm on a vacation with my husband, I'm not going to want to do alone time. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to want to do all Christopher all the time. So, all right, we got that. I don't know, you guys, I might do some glitter glaze on here. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this. It's definitely not dark enough for me. I want more. So the question is, and I just pulled that off a little bit, do I want glitter glaze? Do I want like a velveteen glaze, a chroma glaze, a shimmer glaze? What do I want to do in here? Or do I just bite the bullet? I could mix up some color and some modeling paste and put that through it. I could just spray. Like, there's a lot of freaking options, and I'm just not sure what I want to do. What I am going to do is grab my old mat that I kind of use for this kind of purpose. There we go. Oh yeah, see, I just moved that completely. All right, let's see if we can't get this kind of lined back up. Ooh. Ooh. No, 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 no. All right. Oh, and I was using this as the sketch, and I forgot to show you guys the sketch at first, but I am using that sketch. Okay, so I am just spraying the heck out of this right now. Okay, and this was Tinsel Blue from Brutus Monroe. And now to get a little bit of another bit. Let's see, what do I got? This one is Open Peacock Feathers from Distress. It's the Spritzel Magic or whatever, and I am over spritzing this, so this might have a little bit of stencil seepage, if we're completely honest with ourselves. Okay, so now I am going to, yep, I've got stencil seepage. Look at that. That's what happens when you oversaturate. See this, the stencil kind of seepage out from here? When you oversaturate your stencil, that is what's going to happen, okay? Straight up, when you oversaturate your stencil, it's going to happen. There's no way to mitigate that except for not oversaturating it. Now, what I could have done was blotted this stencil and sprayed the next color on top of it, and we would not have had that situation. But did I do that? No, I did not. But again, whoops, almost spilled the wine. I want to show you that perfection doesn't necessarily have to be what you're going for. Do you know what I mean? So I'm actually going to spritz more. I'm going to spritz from high up. Oh, let's cover up the wine. Don't want to drink the spritzels. Right? That does not sound like a fun time to me, you guys. I don't want to drink the spritzels. Okay. So again, spraying from pretty high up, and there we go. Now, in a perfect world, we would let this dry, right? Like in a perfect world, this would dry. Are we living in a perfect world? Surely not. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so I'm going to grab a couple more paper towels. I'm going to wipe this bad boy off. And again, I oversaturated my stencil, okay? That's why that happened. It is not a problem with the stencil. It is a problem with the user. I had someone let me know that they were disappointed in my stencils because there was lots of stencil seepage when they sprayed like 6 different sprays through their stencil. And I'm like, my dude, if you spray that much through your stencil, it will oversaturate and it will go out. Like straight up, it's going to happen, right? You have to either be okay with that or you have to spray, let that sucker dry, and do another one. And honestly, you guys, I don't have the patience to do that. I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience. I don't want to let it dry. I don't want to let there be layers. I want to make the layout when I want to make the layout. Now, there is still, look at this, there's still so much wetness on here, and it's not soaking into the paper, which this is that Vicky Bouton stuff. Maybe I shouldn't have used it. Maybe I shouldn't have used a mixed media paper because it might have a, I'm just going to blot it. And if it turns out horrible, it turns out horrible. But maybe I shouldn't have used it. Maybe I should have used the cheap stuff because it would have soaked in. You know what I'm saying? But I actually really like this. Right? Like there's an artsy aspect to it. Okay. So I got this going. I'm going to move this because that's a big old mess. And now I'm going to get some matting papers for this bad boy. I think what I am going to do, I'm going to take a peek and see if there's anything I want to So I was looking to see if there was anything on this cut apart sheet that I wanted to use. But there isn't. So what I'm going to do is use this back side Let's see if my photos are actually 4x6. No, they are not. So they're just a little bit short. Because for some reason, my photos are not coming in 4x6. They're coming in a little bit short. So let's see. We're going to put that there. I'm going to trim this one just a tiny little bit. Perfect. Oh, it would help if I put some adhesive on the back of that, huh? That would be so helpful. Okay. So this is that Cartabella cruise line paper. I see all of you people watching and not talking, but that's okay. Some of us are shy. I gotta say, usually when I watch a live, I don't talk either. I know that I just kind of called out a bunch of you guys, but I'm really not. Like, it doesn't bother me that people aren't talking back to me. Because honestly, okay, this is actually something, I think I've talked about this before, but I have a monologue that kind of runs through my head constantly. There's always a thought in there, unless I am playing. There's a couple games on my phone that kind of make my brain disconnect and I don't think about things. But most of the time, there is an inner monologue that is inside of my head, and it's just there, right? I remember the first time I talked to someone that did not have an inner monologue, and they said it was silence if they weren't actively thinking about something. And I'm like, oh, wow. How does that even happen? Like, that's pretty freaking amazing. Okay. Anyway, the monologue is in my head all the time. So whether or not I'm talking to you guys, or it's running through my own head on silent, it's there, right? Like it is 100% there. I think I'm going to do these just at a slight angle, not a big angle, just a tiny little slight, just a tiny. I actually think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I like that much better. So in the sketch, she has a big title down here and like areas of embellishment. And I thought my stencil of the month would be great for those areas of embellishment. But I kind of like this red. I think what I'm going to do is tear up here and give a little bit more red there. Perfect. Because I want this little teeny pop of red there. Let's trim it. And then it's a little bit damp still, but it's fine. Need my ATG here. Put that like that. I'm going to line that up. And then what I am going to do is use my washi tape to kind of hold this paper down. I hate things on the back of my layouts that can catch, because quite honestly, I move my layouts a lot of the times in and out of page protectors a lot when I'm figuring out how I want them to be. Probably not so much in this album because I'm going section by section and kind of laying them out. But oh yeah, I like that little bit of red up there. Kind of like brings it together. Speaking of together, and this is gonna say together is best. I just don't know if I want it to do it like this, together is best. Do I want to have my G kind of nestled in that heart? Do I want to bring this down a little bit more? Yeah, I think I want to bring it down a little bit more. I like that a lot better. Okay. Okay, we got that there. This is gonna say best. Gonna shoot. Gonna get that in there. Okay, now I need to have is, and I think instead of bringing in a sticker, I'm just gonna write is. Together is best. All right, now what I need to do is add a little bit of embellishment, right? Like not a lot. Definitely not a lot. My question is this a little bit too far down? I think just bringing it up like that 1/4 of an inch. Ooh, see? Look, you're super wet still under there. Just bringing it up that 1/4 of an inch makes me extremely happy. Extremely happy. You have no idea. Okay. So we need to bring in a little bit of embellishment, right? So I'm going to put that there. Together is best. We'll do those little hearts. You know, because it's kind of like a love thing. Kind of like a love thing. It is a love thing. We love each other. Let's be quite real. I'm seeing if there's anything on these little puffy stickers that I want to add on. Maybe this camera? No, I don't like it. I don't know if I want to really add anything else to this, you guys. And I know that that might feel weird because there's not a lot going on this layout, but I feel like the background is pretty intense. And like, I really want to kind of focus on the photos. Like, we loved this view and we loved being on our veranda. So I kind of feel like this is it. I kind of feel like this is it. All right, guys. So I know that was a little bit of a quick one. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it here. Yeah. Maybe I'll still scrapbook some more tonight, but I think I'm going to call this here, go wash my hands, go clean off my stencils. And yeah, I kind of like it. No, I definitely like it. It's not a kind of thing. I definitely like this. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I will see you guys again tomorrow for another video, and next week. And Whining Wednesday Live should be on Wednesday unless there is something crazy that happens. Bye.